What's going on, CALIVEGANs, and welcome into another episode of the CALIVEGAN podcast, the only podcast that focuses on helping vegan men build muscle through calisthenics so they can become better role models. This is also a podcast that is led by you guys. So you ask the questions, I answer them. No questions, no content. Everyone is going to be absolutely upset and sad. We're going to appear in the news. The CALIVEGAN podcast failed this week to create another episode, and it was all because you didn't ask questions. So as you're joining in, even if you are leaving right now, just drop some love by asking your questions. I'm going to recognize my fault, okay? Because I have been talking too much before answering your questions. So from now on, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to focus on the questions, all right? So drop the questions, I'll do my first set and I'll answer them straight away. All right, please ask the questions in English. I'm seeing some Spanish questions. Please ask them in English. It's going to make things easier. All right. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, subscribe, leave a comment, perhaps with a question that I can answer in the next episode, or come to my account, Stefano Vegan Calisthenics. I'll do the live on Monday at, I think, should be 9:30. Yes, 9:30. I am. All right, let's go. First set, today is upper body day. Starting with one arm pull-up assisted with 30 kilograms. We should be going for 4 sets and 4 sets of handstand push-ups with 2 seconds bottom. Stop at the bottom. Oi. All right, that felt pretty good. I did not set my timer. Oh, still not right. As you're joining, please ask the questions. I'll start answering after my first set. The moment of the truth. Right, balance is not helping today. Right, let's do 2 and rest. That's the bad part of handstand push-up training. All right. As you're joining in, guys, drop questions. Exteroides is asking, share ways to improve glutes. The best thing you can do for glutes is well, if you're a beginner, you can build your way up to a pistol squat. So doing a squat, bodyweight squat with one leg, that's very hard to get to, especially if you don't weigh like 60 kilograms. But once you go up to it, then the only way to continue to progress and build those legs and build those glutes is going to be going to the gym and do weight training, Okay, so focusing on squats. If you can do like low bar squat, not with the bar up here, but the bar rather down here, because it's going to create more hinge and the glutes are going to be more loaded. But if you're like me, for example, I need to do high bar because otherwise it triggers back pain, then it's going to be more quad focused. But still, you're still making your glutes strong. And the other way actually would be focusing more on deadlift. So instead of having, like me, squat as your first exercise, a hinge movement is going to target your glutes, your bum more, and is going to, target that growth more. But overall, all these compound leg exercises, they're all also working your glutes. As you're joining, guys, ask questions, perhaps a little bit more specific. Exercise is asking, please share exercises to improve muscles without lifts. I don't really understand what it means. How much do you weigh in pounds? So since we are doing a live right now, it's going to be much easier if I tell you in kilograms and you go on Google and change it. So this morning I weigh 80 kilograms, and I bounced between like 79 recently and 80 kilograms. As you're joining, make sure that you ask questions so I have something to talk about after my set. That felt a little harder, but I think we're good. I'm not taking notes. 3, and hopefully this set is better than the first one. The first one was horrible. And again, I was leaning forward a little too much in the third rep, and it made it a word harder than it was supposed to be. Handstand push-ups are like just so inconsistent to progress with. So are you still eating fruitarian? What it did to your energy levels, and did it improve your asthma? So I'm still a fruitarian in the sense that is 6 months ago that I increased massively my fruit intake, eating 1.5 kilograms of fruit per day. So like half or about half of my calories, I would say, comes from fruit. So that's already 6 months that I'm doing that. And then I did the fruitarian, like fully on fruit diet, just for 2 weeks, because I had the 31 days goal when I did it. But yeah, like I realized that the reason why I started it was because I wanted to improve my asthma, right? So then in this journey, I've learned that the true healer is fasting. So I'm just focusing more on fasting now. I've done 54 hours 3 weeks ago. I'm doing multiple intermittent fasting of 20 hours per day every week, and then in the beginning of the week I do a longer one, which last week was 36 hours. I hope to be able to do 2 days this week, so I'm already kind of in the fast. And when it comes to my energy levels, when I was doing a 100% fruitarian diet, but in general, since I eat more fruits, are much better. I'm much better. I feel like this diet has calmed me down, has helped me reduce levels of stress. Digestion was on point, really, when I was eating only fruit for the 2 weeks. No bloating. Yeah. No gases. So it was very good. The other thing that I was doing though, when I was doing the 2 weeks, is that I was doing mono meals as well, in which I was eating only one type of fruit most of the time. So that's also easier to digest. Did it improve my asthma? Overall, I think yes. At the same period of the year, last year, I was using my medication a lot more. However, when it comes to my improvement in asthma, what I really want to do is doing my regular yearly tests, and if they are actually better, then that's a good sign that the sum of the different things that I've done have actually had a positive impact. Keep asking questions so I have something to talk about after my set. Yeah, buddy. We did rest it a little more, but it's okay. My right is definitely stronger than my left. Oh yeah, can we do 4 smooth reps without balancing getting in the way? No, we cannot. That's good. In these cases, I always aim to match the volume, and so I add just 1 press. Oh, come on. No. Not happening today. So another thing that I'm going to do, right, to make sure that I'm working on a good amount of volume today, since I'm not able to do the volume I was expecting with the exercise that I'm doing, which is the handstand push-ups with the stop at the bottom. I'm just going to do my next set at a little bit easier intensity so I can do more volume. So I'm just going to do handstand push-ups without the stop. For the 1 arm pull-up, I'm not sure. Like this last set did feel hard, so which is like matching the results from last week. So I'm going to do the same, I'm going to reduce the intensity using a harder band, which I did last week as well, but I did 5 repetitions. So I'm going to try and do 6 and make improvement there with the lighter intensity. So you see, this way there is not that like, oh yeah, super massive progress, but there is still progress and improvement in strength. Especially when you've been training for many years like me. This is crucial to make these small adjustments, because massive changes are probably not going to happen from one week to another and one workout to the other. Have you guys been good boys and asked questions? Boys and girls, of course. As you're joining, guys, please ask questions, share some love. Just like I create content for you, create content for me by asking questions. Or we're just close this down. We're just going to close the live down for today. Everything is good. All right, so 6. And that's a commitment. Nothing less than 6 is allowed. All right, that's 5, but nothing less than 6 is allowed. So this is another technique. Stop, wait 10, maximum 15 seconds, and then you add the wanted repetition. I still didn't like that, so okay, we're going to add one negative. Not easy. All right, thanks for the question, guys. Please keep dropping them into the chat, so I'm not going to end the live. Today handstand push-up strength is really bad. All right, let's forget it this week. Hello. What is your max pull-ups in one set and what is your max weighted pull-ups? So my max pull-ups in one set was tested, I believe, about 6 months ago. Oh shit. I think it was 26. Yeah. I think it was, it was 26. And the funny thing about it is that I never do it. So my max is not something that I do almost never. Like the last time I tried it was like 3 years previous, not 3 years, but 2 years, previous that, right? And this is the mistake that many people do when it comes to calisthenics training. Every workout they try to max out their pull-ups. Because your goal is doing a lot of pull-ups, perhaps that's cool, but actually doing high pull-ups number is not the most efficient way to get strong, because at some point it becomes strength endurance. But as I just mentioned, my max pull-up went up, even though it's not something I focus on. And the reason why it went up is because my strength, absolute strength, went up. And so my relative strength improves, the strength relative to my body weight, and therefore it's easier for me to do more pull-ups, right? But it's never something that I do. In fact, it's just never something I do. To the other question, what is your max weighted pull-up? So last time I tried was also it was 1 year ago, when I still was going to the gym to work out on Friday. Now I don't go to the gym anymore because I want to save time, and saving time is just more important than doing weighted calisthenics, even though it's something that I would love to do, to continue weighted calisthenics. But when I did it was 60 kilogram pull-up, which I believe like now has gone up, because the one arm pull-up training should have improved my pulling strength anyway, even though not in that specific with specificity, but it definitely had an impact. So all right guys, I don't see any questions in the chat, so I'll do my set. If there is nothing, we're just going to end the live, but please drop some questions so we do not end the live and we keep it up. Right, half lay raises. Clean. As you're joining, guys, ask some questions. Keep these live active. Six. All right. You're welcome, Don. Good luck, man. Don says, you're a great example to everyone trying to improve, not just calisthenics, but in their life in general. Keep going. brother, and never stop. I fully agree. I fully agree. But I would like to add a note on that. The first note is, please ask questions as you are joining, so we have something to talk about. And the second thing is that is true, but it's also true that I believe that all the growth I have in life is mostly driven by my strength training. Because I started very early, the mental toughness, the discipline, like the structure that comes from being consistent with a strength training plan, the ability of doing and putting the repetitions even though I don't see the results immediately, right? You go to the gym, you don't see the results, you need to keep doing it. So for me, those things are actually what made me the man I am right now, and what helped me progress in all of the areas of my life. So yes, even though I talk about other things and inspire people to do different things like activism, right? Sobriety, my journey towards sobriety. However, everything is the foundation of all the progression in all aspects of my life. For me, it comes from strength training, right? It's not like strength training and all the other things. It's like strength training is the foundation. And then all of these other things grew because of it, right? Or at least they grew more efficiently because of it. Let's say, because obviously you can do the other things and not doing strength training, but it wouldn't have worked the same way, trust me. As you're joining in and as I'm doing my set, please drop some questions and let's keep this live going. That felt pretty good. Did what I just said make sense to you guys? Because it is an important part of my journey and how I want to influence you, you know, because there is this concept of, you're just, you know, a fitness freak. You're all about the physique. You know, partly you can be right, at least for me, like, definitely one of the things why I've started training and why it helped me so much, it was to overcome some insecurities. But however, apart from aesthetics, insecurities, and, you know, just doing a front lever, doing a lot of pull-ups, doing very heavy dips, apart from these things that can perhaps, you know, give the idea that there are some materialistic things. First of all, objectively, they are not. Being strong, looking at yourself and say, wow, I look great. Those are foundations of who you are. It's nothing materialistic. It's like, it's you. what's better, to be the best version of you, the strongest version of you, the best good looking version of you? Those are basics, human, those are things that are just part of you. You know what I mean? So they shouldn't be seen as materialistic. They're actually very, very profound. And its profoundness shows in how much you will change as a person if you pursue these things like strength and also being shredded, because people think that it's all about aesthetic as well, but being shredded takes a lot of discipline. So it's just another level of discipline that you need in order to be shredded, because you kind of have to go against, for most people, these strong cravings of eating food or eating the wrong food, right? So this is all good things, and nothing bad about it, even though some people do think so. So I'm going to do my set. Please drop some questions in the chat so we keep this going. Oh, fuck. Daniel says, most welcome, Camp Sport Paradise Park, top of mountain, Spain, and vegan life. Paradise Skate Park, Paradise Park 2024. All right, free advertisement, no problem. Don is commenting on my mindset tip. Yes, exactly. If you can be disciplined, expert, and focused in one thing, then you can do it with anything. Wow, that was a very good way to put it. Wow, that's a good one. So I think your activity make all people wake up. And this is something that I was reflecting. Meaning, I'm not perfect, right? I talk about my struggles with addiction. I talk about how I don't do perfect food choices. In general, I'm not perfect, as no one really is, right? So it's just social media that sometimes gives this impression. You should never think that this person that you're looking at is perfect. They might be very good, but perfect, it's just impossible, because sometimes perfection is based on someone's perception, but humans are different to one another. So perfection looks different from one person to the other, and it's unachievable anyway to be perfect. But yeah, what I've noticed though is that if you want to influence people to get better and perhaps move closer to where you're at, it is important that you need to be few steps above. And most of the time, the results will be them, getting up to you, but never actually get to where you are. And I think it's just the nature of how things goes. And only few people will keep progressing, but these are the people that are truly self-driven, right? But for kind of the student kind of person that wants to progress, I've noticed that if I want to influence, if I want people to improve, I need to be to a level that they are very far from, so they can, feel good kind of getting there without the need of getting happier. I don't know if I explain it, but I have realized that it's actually very important to lead by example. I always thought that leading by example is important, to be honest, and work harder than the people you want to influence. Be better than the people you want to influence in the things that you want to influence them doing. So it's so crucial. Even within activism, I focus on being the one that is consistent every week, being the one that do the workshops, being the one that follows the guidelines. So when I go and make comments to my activists, well, I'm doing it, all right? That's why I'm telling you how to do it, because I'm doing it, and I'm doing it more often. So I think that's very, very crucial when you want to be a leader. And set time. Please, as I do my set, drop some questions, even if you're leaving, so we don't end the live now. Oh, fuck. What do I think about ice bathing? I mean, I don't know. I don't have enough real knowledge about it, but I can tell you though, it's probably over kind of stated. It's not going to break or make any deal. Health, mindset. All of these things that are related to your self-growth are always a sum of different things, right? So whether ice bathing is beneficial or not, I believe is just some detail that you can add in optimizing everything, but it's not going to make or break the deal. Something that I want to say though is that when I was living in a camper and I used to shower with the cold water all the time. Now at home, I just shower with cold water during the summer. Now I'm already not really fancying cold showers. But when I was doing that in the camper and taking a shower always with the cold water, I remembered that my resilience to cold was very much higher, and I noticed it with kind of the people around me as well. And I'm someone that really doesn't like cold, so definitely noticed that from doing cold shower, and I'm imagining it does makes your metabolism stronger in the long run, probably. Makes you tougher for sure. Alright guys, so if you do not want the live to end, make sure that you drop some questions as I do my set. Actually, we need to change the setup here. We need to take these away. We need to I'll move you in a second, guys. I think this is perfect. All right. So last week, looks like I did 2 sets of 9, 1 of 10, and 3 sets of 8 for the wall handstand push-ups. Let's try and go for 10. Or let's do 4 sets of 9 instead. Yes, let's do that. Let's do that. Seven. Another thing that's important when you work out, you never want to push it beyond what you can actually do. Because yes, over time, the focus is always making progress, for sure. But you also have to listen to where you are at in that moment during your workout, because you can never do more than what you can actually do. And so it is important to learn how to manage failure, how to manage making sure that, okay, you're doing the number of repetitions that you need to do, but you're also not pushing it into a place in which you're actually breaking the technique, because then you are lying to yourself and to your progress. You're not really progressing. All right, so I've been left alone. So we do have a last question, I think. What foods would you recommend? I'm mostly on a whole foods diet, but I want to switch completely and just dive right in. I'm not trying to bulk or anything, and I want to feminize your body. What a question. I don't really know how to answer that. I think also because we live in a world where stereotypes are seen very badly, so perhaps you want to define the kind of feminine figure that you would like to represent. And so I do not make assumptions. You do, and I can answer you based on that. However, I can tell you like what I eat in a day, right? So you do have your example. Let's make these 7 handstand push-ups look easy. They definitely were not easy. So to answer your questions based on what I consume, so bananas, about 10 per day maybe, apples. In the evening I will have soup with broccoli, red peppers, tofu, carrots, and potatoes. Like I aim to eat more potatoes and less grains. And then in the morning I do have oats usually, even though I would like to make it only fruit as well. But sometimes it's just a matter of organization. Like eating a lot of fruit requires a lot of fruit at home. Sometimes it's just hard to pre-organize, but it's possible, right? And you can find offers, for example, when you have on bananas, sometimes like 1 kilogram, €1. That becomes very cheap to buy a lot of bananas. And that's it really. What are the other things that I like to eat? I often eat hummus with breadsticks. That's something that I like to snack on. And sometimes I snack on popcorns. And when it comes to nuts and seeds, I tend to avoid them as well. We're almost at the end of the session, guys. It would be a shame if we need to end the live before the end of the session. So for the 3 people that are watching me putting on my weighted vest, drop some questions. Let's keep this going. All right, guys. Fusari Luca. Hey Stefano, thanks for being consistent. And all right now I cannot really talk. Thank you for the support. All right, so we are by the end. So thank you for the ones that are live right now, for joining in. Thanks for everyone that joined and asked questions. We actually managed to do the full episode of the CALIVEGAN podcast today. Make sure that you like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment with a question that perhaps you want me to answer and cover within content or in the next live. So these lives are on Monday at 9:30 a.m. Central European time on my Instagram, Stefano Vegan Calisthenics. And if you're a vegan man who's struggling to build muscle, but you want to become a more confident man that can inspire others, that can be a role model, I can help you with my CALIVEGAN program. I've already helped over 300 vegan men build muscle with calisthenics. So training at home, just like me, I'll tell you exactly what are the best exercises for your strength level and supporting you in creating the best progression towards more advanced exercises that's going to allow you to build muscles. All these supported by a whole food plant-based diet that focuses on fruit, which is going to allow you to feel your best. So if you're ready to take action, the Black Friday deal is still on. You get the period until the 10th of January for free. And if you don't build 3 kilograms of muscle in the next 4 months, I will work with you for free until you do. And if you're ready to take action, then DM me Black Friday and we'll have a conversation about your fitness goals. Right, should I do my last set before I actually leave? Yes, let's just close this with the last set. Actually, no.